Hi, and welcome back to Temple Baptist Church Online Devotion. I'm glad that you're with me. Continue my study in Ruth as we close out this wonderful book and this wonderful story. Today we're talking about the prize of Israel. It comes in the second half of verse 17 of chapter 4. And it literally reads, and they called his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. Obed is a word in the Hebrew language that means servant. It could also be translated worshiper. It's the one who serves. And the women around Naomi had said, "Oh, God has given you somebody that's going to help you in your old age." And so they saw God blessing with a grandson that would somehow come beside his grandmother and help her in different facets of life during the course of those years in which she would need somebody to take her hand. And although not a lot is known by Obed, we do know that he had parents. He had a grandmother who believed in Yahweh, who trusted in God, who wanted to walk uprightly in the Lord, who wanted to have their steps blessed by God. And so he was probably influenced greatly by his grandmother as well, by his father, Boaz, certainly by his mother, Ruth. And we don't have all of those parts of the story, but we do know that Obed was then the father of Jesse. And so God was orchestrating all of these things so that through Ruth, the Moabitess, would be born one that would bless Israel. His name was Obed, his son's name was Jesse, and then would come the grandson, David. David likely was influenced certainly by his father, but as well by his grandfather Obed, in understanding who God is, how God works, and what God desires of our life. Wouldn't it be great if every family situation was this way, where the grandparents could influence the children and then the grandchildren and maybe even the great-grandchildren if God gave them that opportunity? I think that that's what God's desire is for the family, that throughout the family structure, the family comes to know that He alone is God, that Jesus alone is Savior, and that through a relationship with Him, and only through that relationship, can one experience the fullness of God's presence and power at work in their life. The pride of Israel was David, the beloved king, the boy that was the shepherd, the one that slay Goliath, the one that would lead them into battle over and over again, the one who cried out, knowing that God was the one who had fashioned his days even before they were, the one who desired God's own heart. David, he was the blessing, he was the prize of Israel. For us today, Jesus is that one. And we'll talk about that next time. If you don't have a church home, come and join us here at Temple. We meet on Sundays at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., and at 6 p.m., and on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. God bless you. I hope you join me again next time. I'll see you then.